Hello, and welcome to yet another episode of the Aakash Mehta and Friends podcast. Today we have a very old friend who I was kind of saving for later, but then scheduling, and I'm just a mess, guys. Don't mind me. But he was kind enough to come in at the last minute, and I knew most episodes I need to do a pre-interview and a prep and all of that. But this is the pre-interview has been the last 8 years of our comedy career. Because we've had all these very intense and random discussions everywhere, and I felt like aaj abhi camera pe ho sakta hai. So it is a great pleasure to introduce
Except
you.
for the bitching.
Yeah, except for the pitching, which we have conveniently finished right before we started recording. Ladies and gentlemen, Raunaq Rajani.
Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for having me, bro.
Not at all, man. It is my great pleasure to have you on my podcast. Why were you setting your hair for so long?
I wasn't setting. I mean, okay. So, for context to whoever's listening, he messaged me. Aakash messaged me saying, I sent you the link, and I said, give me 2 minutes, I'm setting my hair. And then I set my hair, and then I also filled a bottle of water, and then I also attended to my dog pooping. All
Your
those
dog was
things
pooping
made
inside the
Aakash.
house?
Yeah, they're little dogs, dude. They're trained to tell me when they want to poop, and then I put a paper below their butt, and then they poop into it, and then I throw the paper. I don't take them out. They're small, dude. They're not like huge dogs with like ounces of poop.
Right.
Yeah, so
I don't know
so
what quantity of dog shit is too much dog shit to be expelled in my house. Is it as
so
much as a
anywho,
cat shits?
I don't know how much cats shit. Do cats shit like humans?
नहीं, of course not. ऐसा उंगली जितना रहता है.
Yeah, a little bit more than that, but like I'm sure a cat shits lesser because a cat's body is maybe, I'm looking at my dog right now, I'm saying maybe half of my dog's body.
Okay.
Yeah, my dog is looking at me, wondering why I'm looking at him. He thinks I'm looking at him with love, but I'm looking at him with perspective to cat's body.
You're looking at dog with.
So that's.
Anyway, coming back. Sorry, we got distracted.
इसमें से कितना निकलेगा? Yes.
With a look of approximation. This has derailed very quickly, Raunaq.
Sorry, I have an attention
No,
span
it's
problem.
it's completely fair, and so do I. That's why this is a fun podcast. Where were you born? Is a question that I like to ask people. But I know you were born in Mumbai.
Yeah.
So yeah, but what was so you grew up in
That
Lower
answers
Parel
it.
only? You grew up in Lower Parel?
No. Okay. I was born in South Bombay, born and raised.
Okay.
South Bombay boy.
South
But
Bombay boy. We are both South Bombay boys.
Yeah. But I don't know I don't know if you felt like this in your school, but I got second hand South Bombay boy raising. Like all the cool kids, every kid in my school was born in Breach Candy Hospital. Okay. And I was born in Elizabeth, which is not
At
as
Malabar Hill.
good. Yes.
That's where I was born.
Oh, that's where you were born.
Yeah.
Oh, that's yes. Yeah. So I am born in South Bombay, but I'm not the Breach Candy Hospital kid.
Yeah.
But my wife is the Breach Candy Hospital kid, so I'm taking this family to the
Social
next
mobility you are doing.
level. Yeah, man.
And what school were you in?
I was in St. Mary's, ICSE.
Oh, St. Mary's. I thought I went to a Gujarati medium school. So mine was even less South Bombay upbringing than yours.
Huh.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you. So here's the thing. The reason I said ICSE because ICSE and SSC were right across each other. Okay.
Okay.
And our entire life was India versus Pakistan. Okay, we would throw stones at each other. Dude, SSC kids hated. Because here's the thing. Okay, if their name was St. Alfred's and not St. Mary's, we would not care about each other. But because we both had the same name, we were like, this is POK or this is Indian OK. You know what I'm saying?
Indian okay.
Okay.
This
Okay,
is
so we
Indian
would-
okay.
So we hated the fuck out of each other, and obviously SSC kids were more like, like a government schoolish, more born and raised in Mazgaon, more gangster. And like ICSE schools were very like hoity-toity kids. Okay, and my parents put me in the ICSE school as an aspirational thing. They were like, if we put him with these rich kids, he will become one of these rich kids. Because before I was in Mary's, I was in Scholars, which is in Kolaba.
Yeah.
Which is again, very ghetto, very everyone's beating each other up.
Yeah.
One kid got a burger to school, and all of us were like, "Burger, kya hota hai?" Okay, like we were all sure.
Okay.
Okay, but what my parents did was they were like, okay, in Scholars, he's not going to have this aspirational world view that he'll have around rich kids. So if we can't give him the life of rich kids, at least he can have a sneak peek into their life, which was probably the worst thing you could do to me. Because now I'm here with the fucking inferiority complex all my fucking life, right? So
Right. But did you feel not included by the kids who were there? Like, did you feel like you were not
yes,
part
but
of the
I found
gang?
a way to include myself.
Right.
Yeah, I did. But I found a way to include myself by not divulging information about how much lesser money my father makes compared to theirs.
Did you ever get this?
But yeah. So it
I
was
got
a lot
this
of
feeling
that.
in
It was
HR.
Huh?
I got this feeling in HR where I was in HR college, not even HR college, but Hasaram Regional for 2 years of junior college, and the kids around me were very wealthy, and I had this feeling of like the things they were talking about were so much more materially driven than experientially driven. You know what I mean?
But that's why I didn't go to HR. That's exactly why I didn't go to HR. All my friends went to HR. And
because you
and they were
felt
like, why are
that
you coming here? And I was like, I want worldview. But I just wanted to not continue to be suffocated in being the bottom rung of this material-driven social ladder. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and did hip hop happen during school or did it happen later? Like, because I remember very distinctly it being a very large part of your initial.
Yes.
Yeah, like in terms of not just like you are a hip hop person. Like I feel it throughout. It's not just with your comedy or with the kind of music you listen to, but like even the attitude is very like
So I've always listened to rap music, and like, so I was like 7 when I heard the first Eminem song, and which was Without Me. And kya tha na, when I went to Mary's, it was like, okay, I have to be able to get an edge over these kids. What can I imbibe into my personality? So if everyone's watching Cartoon Network, okay, I'll watch Cartoon Network and I'll also come back with more. So I would be like, let's go ahead. And then Channel B पे 4:30 बजे वो गौरव कपूर आता था. And he was just be like, ये English गाना अभी मैं तुम लोगों को दिखाएगा दोस्तों. And I was like, yes, something I can take back to school to show that I'm G. So yeah, is my internet lagging? Is yours?
Is I think it's yours.
Oh, it's
because I could hear you but I couldn't see you.
So yeah, man. So hip hop was like I would listen to rap music, and then I would be like, okay, loose t-shirt पहनने का, थोड़ा have the attitude of that Ice-T was in the movie called
that shoulder sway.
The thing with the shoulders. I started like emulating, because I didn't have any like male figures that I would look up to. Like in my house, I don't have like a mentor in school or something. So everything I learned was from the TV. I watched a lot of like Nickelodeon. I watched a lot of like music, like American music videos, and I was like, how do I have an edge in a personality to talk about something that they are not watching? Because everyone was watching Cartoon Network. I was like, what do I bring to the table? So that's what I was doing. I was just like, कल तुम लोग ने Hey Arnold देखा क्या? I'll give you the lowdown on what happened in Hey Arnold yesterday. And they were like, yes.
और उस चक्कर में थोड़ा culturally awakening भी हो गया रहेगा. I feel because Hey
Yes,
Arnold,
of course.
especially a show like Hey Arnold, is such a gorgeous show, dude. One of the more underrated
You watched it too
shows.
while growing up? You watched it too while growing up?
I loved it.
Oh man, it was so good. Do you remember in the Hindi version they used to call him like Annu or something?
Yeah, I stopped watching a lot of cartoons when they became Hindi. That's actually a good thing for me because when they started becoming Hindi, National Geographic and Discovery was still English. So I switched to
Got it.
those instead because I literally learned how to
Okay.
speak in TV by speak in English by watching TV. That's how I learned English.
Yeah, that's also like that was also a big thing for me in Mary's, because in Mary's, like I'll tell you this story. I don't know. I think I've already mentioned this to you. In Mary's, once what happened was we were all discussing Pokemon, which used to go on at 4:30 in the evening.
Yeah.
So Pokemon was a big thing. And here's the thing: I joined in the second standard, and Pokemon came to India in the fourth standard. But all these kids knew about Pokemon for those 2 years already.
How?
And I was like, what is this? How do these kids know this? Okay.
Yeah.
So when it came out, I came to school and I was like, did you guys watch the episode yesterday? And this one kid looks at me and goes, you watch Pokemon? They play Pokemon in Hindi, bro. So I was like, yeah, but what do you do? You guys have been telling me for the last 2 years that I need to watch Pokemon to fit in. I'm finally watching it and you're shitting on me. He's like, yeah, I watch it. I watched all of Pokemon when I go to my aunt's house in US in the summer vacation. That's that's how I watch it. I'll never watch it in Hindi. And I was like, bro, how the fuck can I keep up with you guys? Fucking cut some slack.
Man,
So, yeah.
it's just like, what do these kids do now? That's what I want to know. Are they all well-settled members of society, of high society?
Dude, can I tell you something, bro? Dude, my school. Okay, I'll be honest with you. My school shaped my entire personality. I really look back very fondly at my school life. I wasn't a bullied kid. My only thing was that I had inferiority complex because I had these rich kids who had traveled the world. Because once, like for example, they would be like, guys, Raunaq doesn't know that Austria is not Australia for an entire week. And I was like, how do you expect me to know this? Okay. So like apart from that, I look fondly back at my school. But like I am constantly making sure I know what everyone is doing. Cause I'm like, listen, motherfucker, I have a fucking blue tick on Instagram. What do you have, motherfucker?
Yeah.
I'm constant. like it's almost unhealthy. Like Henna notices me do this. So if like one of my close friends, Kazi from school, Kazi will be like, oh, you know, I bumped into so and so at so and so place.
Yeah.
So like indirectly always my mind goes to, अच्छा तो वो कौन से कपड़े पहन रहा था, अच्छा तो वो किधर रहता है, इंडिया में रहता है कि अब्रॉड रहता है, अच्छा so what's his job now? And Henna's like, dude, fucking let go, what's your problem, dude? And I was like, you were born in Beach Candy Hospital, you don't know, okay?
Yeah, you don't get it. But for me, it was a situation where I was like, our school didn't have a lot of very rich kids, like very outwardly rich kids or very openly rich kids. A lot of the kids we had were first, like I was also one of the richer kids in school, but we were all first generation of wealth. So everybody's very, very, not very open about talking about money as such. You know, and it was like none of our parents raised us as rich kids. Like I think my parents, in the 90s, my parents might have been able to afford having me in Bridge Candy, but I was still had in Elizabeth because they had just moved from Borivali, you know. So like, wo Borivali wise I grew up, and when I went to HR and these people, they happened like to my life, where it was just like I was called Ramu Kaka for 2 years, dude. Like because I used to talk in Hindi.
Because you talked in Hindi, that's it. That's literally it. That's all it took them.
Yeah, and
I should wear kurta. Which first of all, being called Ramu Kaka should not even be a bad thing. But that is their fucking mindset. Yeah.
Exactly. Or they would call you lower class. That was another common one, lower class.
Fuck these guys.
Yeah. And then as I grew up and I was in law school and I still had all these grudges. I came into comedy with the frustrations that were there from junior college.
Yeah.
Which is why probably
I remember that. I remember you mentioning in the early days of comedy, because I was like, oh, all these friends that I know from HR, and you were like, yeah, fuck them. And I was like, what does he see?
Yeah, I was not a fan because they were very rude to me, and and that got carried over on stage initially. Like and you managed to not make it for me, when it was a thing, it was a real thing, and it stayed for 2-3 years, and it used to permeate my entire life. Ki fuck these people, fuck people who are materially ये वो जो भी है लौड़ा लहसुन, और वो खुन्नस सब पे निकलता था. ऐसा भी नहीं कि सिर्फ and like anyone with a slight sober accent also has to be like, hey, like who the fuck are you? But like, did it ever come out for you with these people? Like, or did it, like, because you describe it as a very passive thing right now.
Okay, like what do you mean by passive thing?
Like, it's not something that gets into your life. If I meet you, I wouldn't be like, oh, this is a person who really hates people from a certain phase of their life. But if you had met me initially in those comedy years, you would have been like, yeah, this guy really hates people from that phase.
So, I mean, I'll tell you what it was for me. What it was for me was like, I was in school, right? Like when you're in college, there's a much bigger world out there. So when you know that there's a bigger world, you can reject certain people. But when I was in school, I was like, this is everybody. I am the one who's not fitting into the race. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, people look at me like Biswa, when he had come here to Bombay. Biswa was like, have you lived abroad? Where's your accent from? I was like, bitch, I'm from here. You're not from here. Where is your accent from, motherfucker? Okay. So like people make fun of me. They say, oh, you talk like a South Bombay boy. But you don't understand. Like, I talk in a way that no one can again tell me that I watch Pokemon in Hindi. Like, no one can no one. No. So while if I was an adult, I would have tried to put these things in my personality. These were things that I knew that if I don't do it, it's this or nothing.
It's survival.
This is just me. Yeah, this is just my personality. This is how I walk, talk, and dress, because that's exactly how I fit in. And now if I don't do this, then I'm not me. Then I feel vulnerable. Then I'm just like, without this personality. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Without this personality that I've developed to fit in. Because it's not like I would do it to fit in and be like, मैंने भी लंदन में जो जेट में बैठा था. Like, I couldn't do that, right? But I would walk, talk, and dress like them, but then shit on the London ka trip.
Yeah.
So then they would be like, okay, he's one of us and he has a point of view. So that's just how it became. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you illustrated it very well, because for you it was school, for me it was college. For me it was like I came into the wider world and that's what I was faced with. Like, oh fuck, log bahut bekar hai. So I think that's where I got a little more jaded. But we started comedy around the...
I actually went to college and I realized... I went to Hind for junior college, and I was like... so I was a bit of like if you're not from one of these 4 schools that I recognize, then you might not be as much of a cool kid. Yeah. But those 2 years were so important for me, because I made friends outside of this fucking dumb South Bombay bubble. Yeah. And I was like, man, there are decent people here. And what I have been doing with these people is defining myself by saying, tu bura hai. Like, how these people look at you and say, tu Ramu kaka hai. Yeah. Like, they want to put affirmation to themselves by making you look bad, not by widening their perspective and being like, okay, thank God that there is not only the 5 fucking people from Kolaba that I know, and there are people in Thane who did not have the same fucking worldview. And you know how, like, okay, when you're born and raised in like this South Bombay circle, and I still have friends like that, okay, who are just like, ew, Virar. I'm like, that joke is old now, okay? That joke is old, especially because I can rationalize the fact that I know people from all over the country now who have great perspective, who I can have a much better conversation with you. So I think that getting out of this school, going into college was great for me. because I got time to self-reflect, and that as a comic, as a person who, as you know, would rap at the time, as someone creative basically, gave me like a good boost in understanding like there's more to this than just what I have seen.
Yeah. Oh man, I completely I relate with that. I feel like it's also, I put it on some level. You know, like the biggest feeling of that I got was when I started doing comedy. Right? Because in comedy now suddenly you're meeting not just people who are not from your socio-economic background, but people who are just completely different professions, different geographies.
Yeah.
You know,
Age. That was a big one for me.
Age was huge, right? And when we entered this scene, we were bachus. I think you were 17 when you started.
I was 15 when I started, 16 when I met you.
Okay. Oh, right. Because you started in the college. You were doing BMM and at Hind at that point, right?
No. I was in junior college, commerce in Hind. I did BMM after. But like I started when I was like almost 16, you can say. But I met you when I was like almost 17ish.
And you were doing this on college fest levels at that point, or what?
Yeah, college fest levels. I was doing open mics also. I did the comedy store first, open mic and all that.
Oh yeah.
Terribly, as you witness. But I was just it was that thing, right? You can go back to college and it was the same thing, dude. Like watching Nickelodeon, right? It's getting something in my alone time so that I can go back to college and be like, look at me. I hang out with a person who works in PR and is 30 years old. That person doesn't hang out with me at the open mic, but I can tell people that he does with me. No one will know because he accepted my friend request.
I was just, I tweeted this a couple of days ago, and it was like a weird, scary thought that came to my head. Like, how much of my core personality now is just the things that I was trying to be to impress certain people in my life at that point in time. Right? Like, I became this person to impress X person, and now X person is not even in my life, but that feature is now a part of me.
And an X person probably was never impressed.
Yeah, without a doubt. In fact, that's why they left you. It's one of those, and I feel like that's one place where comedy really helps also sometimes, because in comedy you can go in one of two ways. You can become that person who's constantly trying to impress the next big comedian, or as opposed to the audience. Like people, you very quickly find people who start playing to the back of the room, to the comics at the back of the room, as opposed to the front of the room where the audience is. And we both had like this, because like I've spoken to so many comics in this, and most of them started doing it when they were so much older. And I feel like our position was very unique because we didn't have a shot at becoming too successful too early.
Yeah.
We had to go through the grind, because you can't be that successful that young and have that mass appeal that young, because you're not a fully formed adult yet.
You don't know shit.
Yeah, you don't know shit.
Yeah. So it was like okay, you're also growing as a person while you're growing as a comic.
Growing into the person you will become.
Yeah,
right?
growing into the person. Yeah. And until you've not found out like even one adult thought, you won't be able to be something like a comic, because a comic is, in a way, at least for the 1 hour that people are watching you, a thought leader of the room.
Yeah.
So if you're a dumb fuck, then
I'm just going back to myself in the past and going like, हाँ ये चुतिया था.
Dude, I think about that all the time. I was like, क्या कर रहा था मैं? I find like old jokes का videos or papers written, and I was like, why did I just do like normal dumb college things instead of doing this?
I swear, dude. Sometimes I feel I was very heavily working through college years. I don't know if you were very heavily working through college years. I didn't have a college life. I had a weird life where like I was doing law, I was doing audio engineering, I was doing the internships and jobs wherever I was doing. I was freelancing and I was doing comedy. So there was no like it was not a college life. There was no like, except for maybe first year of law school where there was like chalo daru peene jate and all that jazz. But like
right,
I didn't have much. Did you manage to have a college life? Like you met Henna in
Not
junior
much
college, right?
either. No, so Henna and I knew each other in junior college, started dating in like the second year of degree college. So
Right.
we were just good friends till then. But like, I was also not, I was not in a place to be like too much into college life, because like for me it was like, okay, college life for me was like, okay, I can participate in these festivals and stuff like
Yeah.
in junior college. I think I had a certain amount of like self-doubt and low self-esteem, and because not only was my school tough on me, even like my family was tough on me. Like my family always treated me like I was the dumb fuck child, because like I have an older sister who was an overachiever
Right.
while growing up. So for me it was also like, okay, I always have I always had, I mean I still do, not as much though, anxiety trying to fit in with people. So I was better off trying to be alone. I would just distance myself from people. I didn't I was awkward around girls because of boys school, stuff like that. You know, college life was a little like awkward. Like I had friends, but then I also was like a bit of a pushover. So I set friendships up in a very weird dynamic that I no longer am that person who can be pushed over. So I can't be friends with a lot of those people because they don't understand the dynamic. And I kept myself busy. Like my dad was like, come join the office. I was like, okay, I'll work with him. Then I was like, okay, you just want me to have a job, I'll go get a job. I worked in Silly Point Productions, which is a theater company.
Right.
I worked there. I worked in some PR company. I worked in some digital marketing company. I just kept myself busy, and like I was not great at any of the jobs, but I was just like, I need to find something that defines me, because I was doing the open mics also. I was doing like, okay, sometimes I had a great night. Most nights were like, okay, I still haven't found a thing as easily as the other comics are being able to find.
Yeah.
So that entire part of my life, I was just like doing a lot of things, nothing coming to fruition. But because of that, I did not really have a college life that I can look very fondly upon and be like, wo din kya free the. Like I prefer now. I prefer now.
Yeah, I really prefer now. Like as stressful as now gets with the added responsibilities of adulthood. Back then was way worse, because back then, and you know, I mean, the sense I get is that you're somebody even then who was very self-aware. Like you have that self-awareness of, this is how I feel, this is what I'm going, or is this something that has come retrospectively, or were you aware of what? Like I am being driven by insecurity. Were you aware of that idea when you were going through it?
I was. I was very aware of a lot of things. I was like, I'm like this because my dad is like this and my mom is like this to me, and this has happened to me. So this is why I should not be this.
Yeah.
But it's too much to process while you're growing up. So while I was self-aware, I did not fully understand it.
Right.
So it was kind of like that.
And it's a scary place to be, right? Like where you know what's happening on some level. And you are powerless to dismantle it. You know, you are powerless to make it stop happening. So then your plans start being made in order to compensate for what is happening that you can't really stop, right? Like you start changing your behavior to compensate for your insecurities and whatever is plaguing you. Like for me, it was the anxiety, right? Like I spent 3-4 years overcompensating for it, and then I went to Gujarat to cool down, and then I came back as an adult. At least that's how I
remember you went to Gujarat for some time in the middle. You had moved there.
Yeah, 2 years of back and forth was happening, and I think that was a good thing for me, because I was getting very jaded. I don't think I had the maturity to handle what was happening in my career at that point with me either. And I was not the best person to be around. Like I think at least the first 2-3 years in comedy, I was not the best person to be around, because I was dealing with my shit which I was projecting onto everybody else around me, which is probably why we ended up having that fight at Hive. Which I want to apologize, even though I wasn't the one who started it or continued, but I just wanted to apologize.
So I was the one who continued it for sure, but you were the one who started it, even though you don't know this.
Okay.
And the way you started it was also because, before the podcast also, now in retrospect, we both are grown-ups who know that we were dumb kids at the time.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, like, without a doubt.
Yeah, so like you had your, so for people who want to know.
Okay, yeah. No,
people
please,
who want
I think we should tell this. And also tell me where I started it. Because I want to,
No, you didn't start it. I just wanted to say it to fuck with you. So I'll give you guys context. The context is that okay, I'll give you more context. The context first context is that Aakash and I meet at this open mic at iBar, and I think Aakash is a year older than me, so you must have been 18, I must have been 17, right? And we kind of like were like, okay, we can be friends. We are age
and
group.
There were a bunch of us, right? Like you, me, Deep, Dudeja, and Dhruv Deshpande were like
not Dudeja. Dhruv Deshpande also came later. Deep was around.
Yeah.
Yes. And Deep also had Deep had a different vibe about it. Deep also was like this Bandra fuckboy. So I was like, I can talk to him, but I don't know if I can be his friend. He's too cool for me. But then you get to know Deep, and you're like, okay, fuck this guy. I don't think he's that fuckboyish. So anywho.
I remember thinking this distinct thing when I heard Deep talk to me personally for the first time, going, "Oh, yeah, off duty, abhi. He's not on duty fuckboy. He's off duty fuckboy."
Because he would dress up like the kind of kid who would get entry in clubs, right?
Yeah,
and I wasn't one of those.
Yeah.
Right. Like he was at the time he used to work out, so he was like lean figure, muscles, and tight shirts, and and he had decent jokes. Like I tell you, so the thing was like he had decent jokes. My jokes sucked, and Aakash used to fucking slay with one-liners. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
You used to get a ukulele. You used to do your one-liners, like very Mitch Hedberg-ish. I live in Grant Road. Ting, 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 east. And everyone was like, yes, that's the place where the prostitutes live. So although I wasn't insecure of how good Aakash was, I was like in awe of this. Like, so we both got along, and then like Aakash used to invite us, me, you, his friend Dhaval, who comes on his live stream, also tried comedy at the time. Me, you, Dhaval, Arman Sunny, who was another comic.
Now I think an ad person.
Yeah, he's an ad guru. I don't know if he's a guru. I'm just saying it. And the four, five of us, we were like, okay, we get along, and Aakash's house had like a nice studio setup. We would nerd out on jokes. I think we did that like 2-3 times at your house.
Yeah.
Stay up all night and watch like stand up. And then bitch about like SNG or some shit that they were insecure about.
Yeah.
So at the time I was like, I mean, so now you guys have context to how me and Aakash met. You have context to our deep immature insecurities as people.
Yeah.
So the vibe always was that Aakash was a bit of like you know how you were, right? Like you were.
I was an asshole.
I mean, you were a bit of an asshole.
You can say it, man. I admit it.
And the fact that, and here's the thing, the fact that you were good made it like, okay, if you're an asshole and you're bad, you have to be like, fuck this guy. But you were good. Like, you were winning the open mics and you were an asshole. So it was like, okay, he knows his art. And here we are bonding over comedy. Maybe he's not. So you always were like, fuck you, Raunaq, you don't know this, fuck that. And I already have this low self-esteem, right?
Yeah.
So I started distancing myself from you a bit because I didn't know how to confront you about it. And I was like, so that is when Aakash and I stopped being friends because I consciously kind of like shied away from, because I didn't know how to tell you that, I didn't know how to defend myself, basically.
No, I'm sorry, man, because I didn't have that fucking basic empathy that one should have to understand that
that's
you're making
okay,
people
man.
around you uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's okay, man.
Yeah.
I think me, Dhaval are still friends with you. I don't know about Arman. So you didn't do so badly.
Yeah. It took a while, but like amends to be made always. Sunny, though, I don't think he's friends with anyone in comedy anymore. Is he friends with you?
That's true. He met me at a mall once, and he was last 2 years ago, and not maybe a year and a half, and he was like, I saw on Instagram you got engaged, bro. And I was like, yeah, bro, I did. So he's like, so you're gonna invite me to the wedding? And I've sent out the invites and I've made the list, and Arman's not on the list because we're not friends anymore. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I
I
would
know,
talk
but
to him if I
that's-
met him.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, of course. And I walked away, avoiding any conversation further. Because I was like, I've maxed out the list. Now I can't even add him to the list. What do? I can't tell him, no, I'm not inviting you. I just said
Yeah.
yes and walked away. So that's my last interaction with Sunny. I hope he doesn't listen to this. So, anywho, where were we? Yeah. So we're at this open mic maybe a year and a half later, at the Hive. Hive was a 14-seater room.
Yeah.
And Aakash is hosting the open mic. There used to be open mic every Monday, and I go and do my bit, which kind of sort of started working, which was on the lines of, and here's another thing, there was another kid from Cathedral, also one of those South Bombay schools,
Yeah.
right? So he's a friend of a friend, okay, and he was in town and he was like, oh, I want to try stand-up. So that's how he met me. And I was like, yeah, come on Monday, I'm doing an open mic if you want to watch. So I was like, I'm going to show you how it's
Oh,
done, because I
no.
was like, this is that typical South Bombay kid. I want to show him
Yeah.
that I have meaning outside of you guys. You fuck. Okay, so I go and I try this newish joke. It was somewhere on the lines of something happens. I say this to my mom, and then my mom beats me up, and I do decent. So I'm already feeling like I could have done better to show this Cathedral guy down, like. Because he knows all my friends. I wanted him to go and tell all my friends that Raunaq has a personality outside of you. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm already feeling like I'm in my head about all of that. And we're outside. There's a break, and Aakash tells me, you know this joke. You're literally copying Russell Peters, right? Because Russell Peters also has a joke about his dad beating him up or something on those lines.
Yeah. Structurally,
and-
they're very similar, I was saying, I think.
Something like that.
Which was out of line for me, because I don't know why I was giving you advice without you asking for it.
So and those 1.5 years of me not saying anything to Aakash came out that exact minute. And Aakash was like, what the fuck? This guy has never spoken so much. Why? What is this? Okay. And everybody else in Hive was like, okay, now he's performing well. Why didn't he do this on stage? Because this is entertaining. Okay. Deep was also there. And Deep, I think, separated us. Deep and Sudeep, the owner of Hive, rest in peace, was there. And Sudeep's a kind of an asshole who we're fighting at his venue, but he was telling everybody, wait, let this go on. Wait, let this go on. Because he wanted to see. He wanted to see where this goes. And in my head, I made you out to be this big bully, right, Aakash? So I thought that when I fight you, you'll fight me back.
Yeah.
Okay, but you just kept quiet. Okay, so I just didn't feel gratified enough. I was like, where is this going? Like, I'm standing up for myself and this conversation is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But I think that was a good thing for both of us, because I think after that, we could clear this out, because I finished my set, I walked out, I drove home. Aakash finished the rest of his night. Later on in the night, Aakash messaged me saying, hey man, blah, 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 I'm sorry, maybe if it was out of line. If there's anything I've done, please, this thing. And I was like, okay, I was the one who kind of like out of context started shouting at me, and he's apologizing. Maybe he's not that bad a guy. Maybe he's also a misunderstood guy with his own emotional baggage, just like I am.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, okay, I can't be so hard on you. And that's when I was like, yeah, good. And then it's not like the next day we became buddies. It took a while. Over time, over time we forgave each other. Then we went, I think, to Pune once together.
That was such a great trip.
Yeah. That was a year and a half again after that. So there's bunch of times when we meet each other, we're like nicer to each other now. Yeah. I'm also like, okay, don't hold on to grudges. And then we went on a trip together.
Yeah.
And in that trip, at some point, like after like a 6-hour drive or whatever we had, and then we were in the hotel all day, at some point later on while we're drinking, and there's another guy who's the owner of the hotel. Akash is like, remember what an asshole I used to be? And I'm like, okay, I didn't want to say it. I thought we were just going to brush past that and pretend to be friends.
No, dude, that's the thing, right? So I have to acknowledge. I love, like, I cannot not acknowledge things. Like, for me, like, you know how people go through an rehab, and then they have this thing where they have to go and apologize to everyone. Like, I feel like I'm still in that rehab, and for those 4 years.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. But that was a good. But I felt like that was very, very human of you. Like, I felt like, okay, now you're also admitting it. So it's not like we are just friends because we're on this trip. We can be friends outside of this, and I thought that was cool.
Thanks, man. I'm glad you did. You know, I feel like there are so many people in the scene, and there are, you don't have to be best friends with everybody, but wherever there is possibility of friendship, we should nurture it, because at the end of the day, you're at work, and you're at work in a place where you're alone a lot,
Yeah.
Like, so it just helps to have friends sometimes, as opposed to just people you're nice to because you're on the stream together,
Yeah. Do you think stand-up is... do you feel lonely in doing stand-up? Do you feel...
I mean, I think my perspective is a little warped because I used to tour so much. Like, I used to be on the road 20-25 days a month. And that, I think, makes it feel a little lonely because, you're constantly, like, moving around and there's no real physical base for you. And what happens over the years, though, is that, like, you start developing a sense of home in a lot of the cities. Like,
Got it.
if I go to Bangalore and I feel a little like, oh man, I'm not all there right now, I'm going to go and hit the spots in Bangalore which make me feel like home, which I always go to.
Oh, mine is the opposite, because like I've not been doing it like the touring as much as long as you have, because mine was all post Comicstaan.
Yeah.
So like then even that this thing happened to me like 20 days a month. You're all not here, almost all the time you're traveling and stuff. But I mean, while I do enjoy the time being on stage, and then the fact that, oh shit, there are people in Jaipur who like my work.
Yeah, right. That's so crazy.
That's totally worth it. But I'm not the kind, like, I just lock myself in my own hotel room. Like, I don't get out and try to make myself feel home in the city. Like, I always feel like an outsider anywhere outside of South Bombay. Like, I'm sorry to sound like an asshole here. But
I think there's so much to be achieved in that sense, though. Like, when you go out and you live and breathe in a city for a while, because we have this advantage, okay? I think most people don't realize this. When we travel in a very weird way that nobody else in the world travels like us, because we travel predominantly on weekends.
Right.
Or even if it's a weekday, we travel on off. Like, we have nothing to do with tourist season. अपना कोई tourist season से फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. Tourist day से फर्क नहीं पड़ता है.
Right.
Second thing, everybody who travels for work like we do, they have to actually work.
Right.
Like, they have to go to the thing, they have to go to the meeting or the conference. We have the day to ourselves. So we get these random snippets of a city where nobody else is really paying attention to the city at that time, because everybody's either working or a local, and they're not paying attention.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best part that we have as comics, because then when you go and like when I do City ka, whenever I'm playing City live, it's the most fun, because I have all these little insights about cities that people from there have not noticed only. And people who visited were not really all there, so they were working, so they never had time to notice.
Yeah, I guess that happens subconsciously to me. Like, if I open with a few jokes that, oh, I saw this, I saw that.
Yeah.
I don't seek it. Like, I feel extremely lonely when I'm in a different city. Like, if I'm walking around, I was like, who are these people?
That's because
what am I doing?
You have friends in those cities yet, because as with time you'll start making more friends in those cities.
Got it. Yeah. I think that's also the thing. Like, I'm not like a friend person in the sense. Okay, I need to give some context to this. Which means that, like, I'm mostly a recluse.
Right.
So even in the city, like, to my friends know that they can count on me, and I'm good fun when I come out.
Yeah.
But I'm not like out. Like, I can on plans by myself. I'd rather just sit at home and watch TV. I'd rather just be with my wife my then girlfriend, when like even earlier, like I'd rather just be with my dog. So when I'm out, I feel I miss my home, like especially since I got married, because I just want to be home with my wife and my dogs. I don't really care about going out much. I feel extremely like I feel like let's sift through this bullshit. Let's go to the good part.
It feels like effort, no? Yeah. But
Yeah.
maybe it's because you're being this person when you're with other people. You know, when you're switched off from that person when you're with Henna. You know?
I don't know if I do that, but like yeah, you're right. I think it's like that. Don't get me wrong. Like if I'm at a party, and if we're all drinking,
I've seen you at parties. You're a ton of fun at parties.
Yeah, I love being that guy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Not I don't want to like seek it. Like if I'm invited and I'm at a party, I'll do it and we'll fuck around, we'll drink, and I genuinely like that part. I'm not doing it because I have to fit in, but I'm not. I am a bit of a recluse. So like going out, and if I'm in a city, I'm not gonna text people saying, "Hey, I'm in your city." Like I'll have friends. I'll be like, "Hey, I'm in your city. If you want to come for my show, come for my show, and then I'll meet you after." But I'd rather spend the 7 hours in the day by myself.
Man, that's going to be a little difficult for you after this whole Comicstaan business. You're going to get very famous now. So I wish you luck.
Comicstaan already came out last year.
अबे ऐसे नहीं, मैं बोल रहा हूँ अभी कॉमिक्सतान हो गया है, अभी तेरा लाइफ बदल रहा है, अभी तू और ऊपर जाएगा और फेमस होएगा, more people will want
I'd say that way. Yeah, so that was a good thing. Like last year was post Comicstaan, which was new. But I would still tell people, no, I'll only meet you after my show. I don't want to fucking meet. And also, like if the people live in the city, I kind of want to meet people after the show, because I'm like, I don't want to get kidnapped here at night. So if you want to fucking dude, that's another fucking fear I have, that I'll get kidnapped in a city
at night.
Dude, I've spoken about this on Ruben's podcast. That like when I was a kid, there were 3 to 4 times that I almost got kidnapped.
What?
As a kid.
We have so much in common.
Okay.
Except मेरा एक ही बार हुआ था, but like.
Okay.
Yeah, but okay. Why? What was happening? What is this? How do you just miss out on this earlier? But.
Yeah, that should be a bigger part of my personality. Survived 4 kidnappings.
Commitment phobe since he survived 4 kidnappings.
No man, like so like I had in general. So I'll give you a short story, because like if for the viewer, I don't want to bore them. If they want to watch the long version, they can watch it on Ruben's podcast. Short story is this, that I have a difficult relationship with my parents, because my parents were like, like they were from like a very like a negligent background, and I think it's because like young people 22, 24 forced to get married, and come on now, bachchi kar do, like you have that joke, bachche kar do. So it was just that. So like I don't think my parents were fully prepared to have a kid, so like they would just leave me at places without knowing or giving a fuck. And I'm not gonna lie, I was an extremely cute kid. So if you see an extremely cute kid, it's like a khuli tijori, just walking around. Dude, I've like there are so many times that I've just been left alone.
And then what? Somebody came and picked you up?
No, like people tried to. Like once a guy almost pulled my hands. Once a drunk guy on New Year's. Like I was below my building, feeding a dog milk, and I was like 8 or something, and my sister was like 13. So she and I went down on New Year's, on fucking 31st night, when our parents were out partying or something and just left us at home. And we just went down to feed this dog, and my sister was inside the compound. I was standing outside the compound, and this big drunk jhund of like rowdy fucks are just walking past, and they're like, "Hey, bacha le le," and they fucking drag me with them.
Oh wow!
For like a good 1.5 minute, and I'm just struggling. And like I couldn't fucking this thing. Like from behind me, another kid comes. Luckily the watchman saw, and the watchman does like a lathi, with his lathi on the floor. And then they realize that I'm not alone. So then they like they kind of leave me, but they don't run away. And at this point, like I'm just like I just go hug the watchman like he's my dad or something.
Yeah.
Watchman is like, I don't think we're that close, but okay. So there's like 3-4 stories like this. Like once my dad just left me in a car, windows down, and like, cause he's like this Sindhi businessman dude who just so there was like one guy. We were waiting for my sister outside her tuitions, and there was another guy waiting for his daughter to come out of that tuition. And he was like this other rich client of my dad. So my dad immediately just left the car, and left me in the car, windows down, and went to talk to him. And this is crazy. Like, it's a creepy scene, okay? This guy dressed as a pandit, okay, just dancing like this, okay? And with like a ghanti. And there's like another kid behind him with an aarti, and one kid with a ghanti, and he's just dancing like this, and they're all dancing like this with him, okay? And they lock eyes at me, and he starts walking towards me.
Fuck.
Okay? And it was fucking creepy. It was like a 90s movie, dude. Because he was coming to get me. Okay? And like the car was unlocked and the windows are down. So I panic. Okay? I freeze. I don't know what to say. He comes closer and closer. And maybe, look, now at this point, when you're listening to the story, you can be like, hey, maybe he was just coming to bless you. He was a pandit, right? I'll tell you what happened. I get scared because of the way he's looked at me. Like, I could see devil in his eyes. Okay? So I started screaming. My dad from across, talking to his client, he's like, will you let me fucking talk? And I was like, come here. So when my dad starts walking 2 steps towards me, and that's because that uncle, my dad's client, saw that I'm in trouble. So the uncle starts walking towards me. So my dad's like, fuck, now I'll have to walk to look like I care about this kid. Yeah. So both of them starts walking towards me. And this pandit looks at them, looks at me, realizes that they're coming for me, and bounces, and those 3 kids run with him. So now, in hindsight, obviously it means that he had the intentions of, here's an alone kid, I can take advantage of something. So there's like,
Oof.
So things like that really made me feel like I gotta fucking look out for myself, dude.
Yeah,
Because I'm gonna get fucked because this guy doesn't care about me. But that also helped me grow as a person. Because then you're like an 8-year-old kid who's like taught that anything can happen at any time. Scarring, but in hindsight, that's helped me as an adult.
Yeah. Oh man, that is one hell of a story to cover at the end of a first half. Wow. Okay, good. We're gonna take a quick break. I need to pee after this story. Don't ask me why.
Yes, buddy.
Yeah, it's intense. We're gonna be back in the second half where we talk more about...
Dude, even I have to pee now that I thought about this fucking story.
Second half, we're talking about relationship, we're talking about Comicstaan, we're talking about all those wonderful things. And also marriage and parents. And you know how this podcast is. See you in a second. Okay, bye.
This episode of the AMF podcast is brought to you by lyrics writer Dil Jigar Nazar Ye.
Quick housekeeping before we go into the second half. If you have made it to the second half, then you deserve to listen to some housekeeping. Our Discord thing is up, okay? The Discord server is up. The link is in the description of everything that I put out all the time. You can go check it out. We do all kinds of stuff. I was just telling Raunaq in the break that we do daily, nightly radio shows on the Discord. We're doing open mics on the Discord. We're having a lot of great discussions. A lot of stuff that does not go on to YouTube lives with our cricket stuff goes on to Discord. We do fantasy picks every day on the Discord as well. Loads of guests coming in. Lot of people coming in. We've just crossed 1,000 members as I do this. But I want to get to 10,000 soon. Yeah, I know, right? 3 days, 1,000. Not bad for a platform that most people who join have to learn how to use.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So I'm quite excited. That being said, ho gaya? Housekeeping itna hi hai. Back with Raunaq. Raunaq, you were going to ask me a question that you wanted to ask me on this thing.
Yes, I wanted to ask you a question. Do you feel like all the times back in the day when you were young and doing stand-up, still new in the scene, when you were not too well versed with social interactions as you are now? Because I'm saying this because this has happened to me. Okay, because of your dumb teenage issues, you were not as good with people skills. Do you feel like the damage you have done back then in terms of your first impression is still something that you suffer for right now as well?
Yeah, with some people. Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel that too, man. I've done dumb shit, said dumb shit
Yeah.
to people, like, because I mean, the fight that you and I had is enough context to what my
To tell-
hormones
yeah.
must have made me do
Yeah.
to other people also. But with other people, I was probably not able to get past it. Like till
Yeah.
today, I feel like fuck, man. I was a dumb kid. I hope this guy can understand, because like I don't think people understand. Because everybody sees everybody as a co-worker, so
Yeah.
you have to behave like you are in the workforce. But we came behaving like we were in college.
Yeah. Yeah. Not very professional.
Nah?
Yeah. Not at all. And I think.
So what do you do about that?
But here's another thing I've noticed is that changes also with time. Like you can genuinely change the impression people have of you, where I think that is also very much possible, because and because what happens is there are always new people being added to the system,
Huh.
and those new people's first impression of you is way better, you know. So as
Yeah.
this and you know system gains more people, then it loses generally. So those new people that
But
are coming
there's also the thing which is like, okay, I can't take names, but you know who I'm talking about.
in.
There was a mentor-ish figure that came into my life way back early on in the scene,
Yeah.
and he's not too relevant now
Yeah.
as a comic, but he was like, you know, I'm gonna do it all the big style, and he was an American guy, Indian,
Yeah.
but American guy, so he
Yeah.
wanted to do it very like showbiz.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
he got me and a bunch of other comics to do one episode on Comedy Central, and he had a bit of insecurity because a lot of new people were coming into the comedy scene,
Yeah.
overtaking him. So he kind of put that onto all of us, but everybody else was a grown adult to know that okay, he's just insecure and dumb because of who he is. But I was the kid, so I imbibed a lot of like
Yeah.
his insecurity. So he was like, when you go on stage, you have to tell people that I was on Comedy Central. Just dumb, arrogant shit like that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm doing a 7-minute spot on a night where everybody's doing 30 minutes each.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, hey, like Sapan was calling me on, okay? I was like, hey, Sapan, can you please tell them that I was on Comedy Central? And can you also tell them this? And can you tell them that? And Sapan was like, you're not some fucking special act that's flown here. You're
Yeah.
doing 7 minutes because we are trying to support your career.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm sure he thought I was a fucking dumb fuck.
Yeah.
So for the longest time, Sapan thought I was a chooth. But then like I worked at EIC, and one day he told me, he was like, dude, we gave you the job because your CV was good, but I had my doubts about you because of this one thing that you had said this one time.
Yeah.
And now that I see you, I know that you have grown past this and I have more context to you.
Yeah. But that's it.
But
That's
that-
really it, right? It's context. It's about, see, you know, on one level, I feel like no matter how much I explain why I do the things I do, it doesn't matter to other people in the scene because nobody's watching each other's shit anymore. Okay.
Correct.
Like
Correct,
I
correct,
watch
correct.
your show. I watch Saurabh's stream very, very religiously. Like I watch it even if I can't watch it live. And there are maybe a couple of I'll occasionally watch. I used to watch you know समय का stream पहले, पर अभी chess से मेरे को anxiety अलग हो जाता है, तो मैं वो नहीं देखता हूँ. But like you know there are very few things that I watch that other people make, apart from their core stand up. And I feel
मैं
like
तो कुछ नहीं देखता हूँ.
so like then you know that idea of getting context towards your co-workers becomes more difficult. What's
course.
helped me is to kind of make a point to go and talk to people that I don't necessarily know very well. Especially like AMF is a great way to do that. Because a lot of comics I've
Of
spoken to,
course.
I've not been friends with. I know they have a bad impression of me. And I know for a fact that like there are a lot of people who I know are still like it's like you say something behind someone's back, it's going to reach the person. It's a very small scene still. You know? But I feel like when I let that grudge out of my
Right.
heart and I'm like, fuck it, dude, whatever you must have said about me in the past, whatever you feel about me in the present, like let me just get to know
Maybe.
you. Because if I have that empathy for that person,
Because
then,
that guy will also get to know you then.
yeah. So I think that really helps. But like, don't worry about it. Given time, everyone's opinion changes because new people know the new you.
No, so I mean the kind of person I am now is like I'm just like, if you think I'm such, fuck off. I don't care what you think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But like I think about this also. So I'll tell you what I meant by that story. Okay, why I brought that story up. So that was my thing with Sapan. Okay, and then Sapan got context to me, etc. And then Sapan and I are good friends now, etc., etc. But that night, what also happened was Tom from
Comedy Store.
Tom was
Yeah.
programmer at Comedy Store, manager, on-floor manager. He was
He used to
he
run
was
the club,
around,
basically.
and
Yeah.
he used to run the club, and he saw me do that shit, and he fucking hated me for it. Okay,
Yeah.
so when Tom was quitting or moving up, he employed Mubin. So he gave Mubin
Mubin the
context
same.
saying Raunaq is an asshole because I've seen him do this. So Mubin automatically hated me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then Mubin
Told
was
Vedang.
leaving, and he told Vedang.
Yeah.
Okay, and Vedang, without giving me a chance, automatically hated me.
Yeah.
And that is why it was so tough for me, because as I started becoming a better person, as I started becoming a better comic, it still made no sense because these people had some context to a story that I did when I was fucking 18 years old, and no one gave me a second chance as I was growing up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's where I think about it.
Yeah.
Like if you as a person don't like me because of some shit I said, and you and I have nothing to do with each other, I'll just be like, well, I can't control it. Fuck this. Well, I mean, it used to affect me a lot, but
Yeah.
now I'm in a different zone. But if it comes in the way of my work, sometimes I think like, imagine how this is something I'm aware of. Imagine how many other things that I could have been
100%.
employed for, but some
100%.
fucking story inhibited them from giving me the work I could have gotten.
Yeah, I felt similarly when it came to that club, because that club though didn't I mean I finally started getting regular spots at the club when Vedang left. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got it like right around the time when he was about to leave, because I had to fucking convince him that
Yeah.
I'm a good comic. I was like, you know what? I don't care if you think I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
Just see how good I am on stage.
Yeah,
But that also took him like 3 months.
Dude, I would send him audios. Like मैं 1 घंटा टूर करके आया है, सब जगह पे मैं 30-40 टिकट बेच के अच्छे से किल करके आया है. But if the guy doesn't listen to your tape, then he's never gonna know. And if he doesn't want to listen to your tape, then how do you make someone?
Yeah, he doesn't want to.
He doesn't want
Yeah.
to. It's not like he you
Yeah.
know. But I mean, I feel like I have been banned from at least one venue at a time since 2014, I think. Okay. I have currently I am banned from Cuckoo Club. I don't know if you know that. And
Yes, but Cuckoo Club has shut down operation now.
and maybe that is you proving my point for me. Venues,
That is.
come and go.
That is-
Venues come and go. People come and go. And the thing with comedy
Yeah.
is that whoever lasts longest, is like, you have to give the world a chance to get to know you also. So like if you just stick around
Yeah.
and you keep sticking to your guns, and if you don't have any malice in your heart, then I think eventually it's gonna resolve itself. Like something Manan Desai told me when I moved to Gujarat was that everything we get is something we deserve.
Right.
Okay? Good and bad. Okay, and it's not about feeling good or bad about it, but the fact is that you've done something to cause a chain of events for something to come to you, and that is
Yeah.
sometimes good and that is sometimes bad, and then there are variables, wildly good things and wildly bad things happen to us sometimes without anybody's this thing, like this pandemic. It's a wildly
Of
bad
course.
thing that happened to all of us, but everything else
Yeah.
is something that we've deserved. So if you get something bad, then that's a good time in life to wonder why you deserve it, and once you figure it
What's
out,
the
then
root cause of this?
yeah, and then correct that behavior.
Yeah, but like that's what I'm saying, right? Like you've corrected yourself, but
But they don't know.
But like that still has, they don't fucking
But
know.
what
like, I
happens
just
to
think
a
about that,
programmer?
like-
But like what happens to a programmer who doesn't actually care about how good the sets are? That programmer doesn't stick around for very long, does he?
Yeah, like none of them have.
Yeah. I've gotten from the point where I used to constantly get banned from places to getting to the point where I actively say I will not work with this venue anymore because I don't like XYZ.
Yeah, you can't fire me. I quit.
Yeah, no, I'm more than fire me also. Like I'm the one bringing an hour to you. I'm selling tickets for you now.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna take my business to somewhere else where I'm respected further. Like there was a club where I
course.
wanted to put up a standee, man. I just wanted to put up a standee at my own special, which I have sold back to back 2 shows out for. मैं इधर 400 टिकट बेच के बैठा है और मेरे को अपना स्टैंडी अपने शो के बाहर लगाना है और अपने बंदे से अपना ये लेना है, व्हाट्स इट कॉल्ड, द लिस्ट of art guests to sign up for my website, and they said you can't do it because we don't share our database. Okay. And I was like,
well, then
what?
fuck you, then.
It's not your database. It's my fan base. You know what I mean? Like, it's very
Yeah.
different. So then, but then
Oh
I could.
man, listen. There was only one club that would do this, and I know the fucking club that would do this.
Yeah, and nothing negative. Like, it's their policy. They do whatever they want to do. But my point is, like,
No, fuck them.
That plus some other practices, I was like, you know what? I just take my business elsewhere. And it feels nice, for us, you and I.
Yeah.
And it's taken a while for us to reach here. But I feel like we're both at that point where we can say, like, you know what? Okay, bye. I'm just going to go down the road. पहले तो values भी इतने नहीं थे.
You need that leveraging.
Yeah.
I feel like if anybody asks me if you are in any sort of show business, I would always say that figure out a way to leverage yourself, because this fucking red tape is always going to be there, because not everybody understands art and what you're trying to do. First, find a place to leverage yourself, and then fucking make sure you put your art out.
Yeah.
Because people will inhibit you all the time.
Yeah, you need a peg. You need something to keep you fastened wherever you are. Right, like you need somebody, something. So like your hero thing, like that. Like for us, it's our stand-up. We know our hero product is stand-up. We know ki like I can always fall back. Like that's where I think my security started coming in maybe 2.5 years ago, where I realized ki man, if nothing works out, if Lasun fails, if the podcast fails, if everything fails, then it's okay, because it'll be me and my manager.
At least this one skill.
Yeah, and I still go around and I still tell jokes. And frankly, the reason I do all these other things is so that I can do you do all the big paying gigs so that I can go to the open mic, and so that I can go to those 6 people and try jokes that don't work. Earlier it used to feel like the auditorium is a reward for the hard work at the open mic, and I'm like, no. The auditorium is a way to pay so that you can live a life full of basic settings and also do an open mic.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like when you're touring, especially.
Like I would. Sorry.
When you're touring, especially coming back home to do an open mic, or just randomly getting onto an open mic somewhere, it's the best feeling. I'm like, dude, you guys, you will not believe the shit I just went through. I want to tell you all about it.
Yeah, I think about this a lot. Like doing a perfectly, like you've meticulously taken care of making sure this set works at this place, and that this joke should be set with this much space is beautiful. You do it in a full room in an auditorium. That's great. But there is no better feeling than like you're sitting at stand-up labs on a fucking Monday night, and there's like 12 people, and you're trying out a joke and it fails, and then you go on a rant about how you thought it would be funny, but no one is laughing, and then you laugh at that. There's no better feeling. Unfortunately, that's not the one that pays.
When I did that first show at Habitat after the whole 215 plus days, man, of not doing comedy on Indian soil.
Yeah.
And then you go on stage, and I realized how many things in my life I had suppressed and kept because I didn't know how to let them out without stand-up. And that 1 hour was me trying to do bits, but then deviating to just like getting frustrations out and bhadas nikal. And that became the whole theme of the night. Like I'm trying to tell you a joke, but in reality bhadas nikal raha, aur bhadas is funnier than anything else that you're doing. And whereas
catharsis is so good because I think it's like, okay, here are my raw thoughts, and these are strangers who are entertained by me. Unfiltered.
Like there is
amazing.
Like, the world is suddenly smaller. You know what I mean? Like you're so used to the world being divided on everything. You're like, ये लोग सब लोग को लगता है कि बगल चाटना funny है. बोलो, अभी क्या कर सकते हैं? How do we? I feel like
it's a great feeling.
What was very interesting to me about you doing Comicstaan was that I felt like Comicstaan was the perfect accelerator for you.
Sorry. I can't hear you. What is? Sorry, can you repeat? Well, interesting about.
Did your earphones go off? Is it better now?
No, my AirPods are connected to my phone as well, so then my phone started ringing. Should I take this? Can I take this for a second?
Yeah. I'll pause it.
Sorry.
No stress.
Let's go back.
I'll take it from the Comicstaan question. So I was saying I was very happy when you did Comicstaan because I felt like that was the perfect place for you. Like in my head, I didn't think that you were gonna win Comicstaan because I feel like that's like considering the group that you were with, I was like, I don't think number 1 is gonna happen. But I felt like it was perfect for you because it managed to get, because you have a very unique voice as far as comics go. And I felt like that kind of unique voice would not have made it on YouTube as quickly as it would have made it with Comicstaan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I did Comicstaan. Even I know that.
Yeah. And I'm so glad that you had that. And I remember we were having this conversation when you were going to do Comicstaan as well, where it was a very well thought out thing for you. You know, for you and Aakash at least, it was a very well thought out thing. I felt like it was a very geniusly thought out thing. With the rest, I felt like, you know, with Samay and all, it's like, okay, this is your big break to become something, you know, in the comedy scene quickly. But for the two of you, it was a very different, like you've been through a very long grind. You've seen some success. Akash, a little more success than you had seen at that point. And then you're in this competition.
YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, and on the pool, in the competition, you have a lot of these newer guys, right? Keeping your original thing in mind, how was it doing Comicstaan? Like, that's what I am more interested in.
No, I want to ask you, what the fuck do you mean by I knew you wouldn't come first, motherfucker?
Yeah, I had a feeling because you're not as Hindi as the others. And it's always a Hindi person that comes
true.
first.
Even I knew that. No, I knew that. I know you know that. I was just saying that to be a dick. But yeah, the whole thing was that Amazon as marketing and all also knew that they want someone massier. And I knew I'm not going to get that. But I knew that I will get seen by people at least. And that's what I went for. And that's exactly what I wanted. I was just like, dude, I'm fucking tired of being in this fucking place where I know I'm fucking great. Like, I'm not like Dave Chappelle great, but I'm better than people who are overtaking me.
Yeah.
So I was like, the whole thing is that unfortunately this is show business, and if I find a way to get my work out, my audience will find me, and I will stop being like, hey Kanan, can you please do a spot on Wednesday so that audience comes and then I can do 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Because otherwise nobody will come. I was like, even if like fucking 3 people come for me just because they want me, at least I will fucking have a momentum place to start with.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's context, right? Like, if I made relationship, people know that, okay, yeah, I've seen this guy in that show, and now this is him with other comic friends. But but if I did relationship when people did not know me, they would be like, who the fuck is this guy? Even though backstage everybody knows me, in front of the stage everyone's like, who the fuck is this guy and why is he talking to these 4 people?
Yeah.
So I was like, I just need for 1 second for people to get context me, an opening, a foot in the door basically, so that I can take this forward wherever this goes now. Now I have to work hard from here, but at least look at me for a second.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to achieve.
Yeah.
And the thing about Comicstaan also is that, like, for 10 consecutive weeks they show you.
Yeah.
So even if you sucked, people recognize you. So I was like, regardless of everything, people will recognize you. And then I have to do whatever I have to do after that. So I was going to put out videos. I had a bunch of bits. I was going to put it out. I was also acting like, I'm too high art to have a reality shows choose how to show me. But then Prashasti was like, dude, look how fucking well I'm doing. And Prashasti comes to me one day and Prashasti was like, do you know yesterday I had a show at Cuckoo Club where I sold more tickets than Sumit Anand? And I was like, oh, that's good for you. She's like, no, Sumit Anand is a great comic. I was like, okay. So she's like, no, but that's how much Comicstaan has done for me.
Yeah, that's how showbiz works also.
She said, why the fuck don't you do it? And look, Prashasti and I aren't like buddies for her to fucking talk sense into me. So I really appreciated it. She was like, dude, you're stupid if you're not doing it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I really appreciate this. I think I will consider it because you're right. Because at the end of the day, it's not about, oh, I'm high art. It's also about, okay, people should see me so that I can be high art also.
Yeah.
So I was like, because what's the point of being, oh, I'm high art in your fucking living room until people don't know who you are.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Then I was like, I had read somewhere that like Dave Chappelle had done like 7 fucking comedy reality shows way back in the day. And I was like, you look at Dave Chappelle right now and he's like, oh, fuck this, fuck you, fuck this institution. No one can judge me. I'll say exactly what I want. But he also had to do these things.
Yeah.
Who am I to sit here and be like, fuck this show? I'm going to make it big by myself.
Yeah.
So then I was like, you know what? I'm not too good for anything. There's a show. The big fear is, that you'll not be portrayed the way you want to be portrayed. They will take care of the edit. They will cut out your favorite jokes. But that's okay. because it's not Saregama, right? There's no like drama in this.
Yeah.
They showed everybody in a good light. You do as well as you do, and the editor will make sure that he can try to show you as well as you did.
Yeah.
If you did badly, that's on you.
Yeah.
He will still try his best to make the show entertaining.
Yeah.
And in that process, people will see you.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. So it did work out in my favor, and I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, I couldn't have done Comicstaan even if I wanted to. I think I was too far along.
Yeah, I know that.
I think it
Dude,
was
you
a-
already had like a good amount of subscribers and shit. They probably would have rejected you. They would have said that you're doing well. You don't need this.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. I think that,
Yeah.
and I think what really messed with me initially, was like when people were talking about doing it in the first season, at least people were like, Akash, you should do it. And I was like, but it's I cannot get over the idea that Biswa and I, we have this relationship, and now they're going to be a judge on a show and everybody's going to pretend in the
Yeah.
audition like they've not seen me before.
Yeah. So that was also something that I cringed hard on. Okay. Oh, my neighbor's fighting.
Oh, wow.
Okay. You might hear some of that.
It's
but
okay.
I mean, that's just masala.
That's life.
Okay. So I was saying that even I cringed hard at that because
Yeah.
they made it look, because here's the thing, people don't fucking understand, the comedy community is small, everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
And comedy is a place where you're constantly rejected on stage, so everybody has a certain amount of humility. So when you're in the green room, everybody is on equal level. No
Yeah.
matter how big you are, you might eat shit that night, and me with 0 followers on Instagram will fucking destroy that night. So
Yeah.
everybody is equal in the fucking green room.
Yeah.
But for the sake of the show, they try to show it as these lucky strugglers
Yeah.
got a chance to meet Kanan, Biswa, Zakir,
Yeah.
Sumukhi, Kaniz, and Neeti. And then everybody was like, wow, Raunaq, good for you. And I was like, yeah. It
Yeah,
was
very nice.
It was a great experience.
Yeah,
I had
once
never
in a
met them.
lifetime.
I touched their feet.
Do you
There's
feel
a
like
lot of
after
exposure for you, man.
Do you feel like after the very quantifiable success, I call Comicstaan a quantifiable success, right? Because it's something where
Of course.
people who have no idea what the fuck comedy is and how it works also understand कि हाँ इसने कुछ उखाड़ा है अभी.
Yeah.
Did your parents, I know how your dad looked at the job specifically, how difficult it was
Right.
for you with them. Did that relationship
Huh.
change because of Comicstaan a little bit? Did that
Oh
reduce the
God,
strain?
yes. Oh, and I hated it. Can I tell you this? Look, when I was younger, my dad was like, "Fuck you and your stand-up comedy." Okay, तुम ये क्या कर रहे हो? तुम business क्यों नहीं join कर रहे हो?
Yeah.
Why don't you become a banker? Do you know the kind of clients I have met? The kind of education they have? Not this shit. I've never met a stand-up comedian. You fucking stand-up comedian. Okay, and then like my first video goes viral, and then he broadcast to everybody, "Look at my son," and I'm like, "Fuck this,
Yeah.
fuck this. You don't gotta fucking say this now." Okay, so so then like after that, like when I did Comicstaan especially, so even after the video went viral, that stopped being a cool thing. He was just like, "Oh, shut up, you loser! You have to fucking
Yeah,
you have to fucking finish some fucking degrees and get a fucking job and you have to do the grind."
Did you finish the law degree, Raunaq?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
You did too, right?
Yeah. That, by the way, Raunaq is also
Yeah.
a lawyer. He did law after BMM. So,
Huh.
yes, proud of you,
Yeah, the
Sonia.
worst combo. So when I did Comicstaan, and my dad was like, "Oh, this is going to be on Prime."
Where I see
Then he was like, "Can I
Mirzapur.
come for a shoot?
Yeah.
Can I come for a shoot? Can I come for a shoot? You think I can come for a shoot? You know, my son, guys, he's doing a show for Amazon Prime. You know that Amazon is Jeff Bezos. You know Jeff Bezos? He's a friend of Raunaq." And I was like, "Fuck off! You don't get to fucking only be with me at the good parts." That's
Yeah.
like I don't know. People feel like, "Oh, I proved to my parents, and now they agree with me." I just feel like, yo, I don't like this. I proved to them that I'm doing a legit thing, but I don't have to prove to anybody because I'm a fucking grown adult.
Yeah.
Okay, while I was living with my dad, I mean, of course, I was under his roof and stuff.
Yeah.
I was always planning this life where I'm moving out and stuff, and
Yeah.
I was not like taking anything from him. So I was just like, you gotta treat me not like you control me. Because you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like
yeah.
I feel like this Indian thing of like, oh, you're my son, so I disallow you, a grown adult, from doing this. I'm like, no, you don't disallow me. I do what I want.
Yeah.
And if you think that being under your roof is the problem, I'll get out.
Yeah.
Okay. Then so like when like my parents, my dad especially, the attitude was very like, why are you doing this fucking Kavi Sammelan shit?
Yeah.
But then when Comicstaan happened, he was like, yeah, you know Zakir, right? That famous guy whose WhatsApp we've all forwarded to each other.
Yeah.
Zakir's on the show that my son is on. And I was like, you don't get to do this now. So that was, but that was a little complicated. But that's how I took it. Like a lot of my friends are like, oh, but you prove to them. But I'm just like, I don't need to prove anything to anybody. I
but
do
do you
my
feel
own
like
shit,
that?
and you respect me for it.
Do you feel like that grudge is an unhealthy one to keep? Considering that they're gonna be in your life. Okay, it's not a grudge.
It's not a grudge. It's just like I don't hold things against them in like, it's the way I see it. The way I see it is like I have friends who are like, oh, dude, I left my job and I wanted to do this startup and my parents did not like me. And like, this is a friend who did a startup, okay? And his parents were against it. And he didn't take a rupee from his dad. And he fucking made a company that's making good amount of money for his age. And now his dad supports him. And I'm like, fuck off. Why are you proud of this? Why are you like, oh, now I prove my dad right? Dude, your dad should have been like,
yeah, he should have been supporting you.
Your dad can't be support.
But that's the thing,
I'm
right?
saying,
like we create a value system which is based on proving people.
Yeah, that's unhealthy, right?
Yeah.
I didn't do this. Okay, I kind of did this. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of did this to be like, look at me.
Yeah.
I made it. I
think that's what parents think is a motivation for us. Ki like, usko itna frustrate
that's
karo.
unhealthy.
Very unhealthy. Very unhealthy. My parents, on the other hand, I must say, have been very sweet in that regard. They kind of like, they took time, but they like, and their thing was not ki what you're doing has no value. Their thing was more of, fucking stop smoking, no then. Like that was their thing. You know? Comedy karna hai ki cigarette peene jana hai. And you know, that was the...
Dude, can I tell you this? This is something that you had told me once. You had told me, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do this for the next 1 year to further my career. And, you know, because I was talking to my dad and I was like, you give me your business perspective and I will do this. And I was like, wow, his dad fucking talks to him about this. Like, he's a fucking adult.
Yeah.
So in my head, I was like, it's my fault my dad doesn't talk to me about all this. Okay?
No, it's not. So mostly
because
not.
You
not
told me
yeah.
this. Yeah, because you told me this, I went to my dad and I was like, hey dad, can we talk about? Can I get some guidance from you on business? And he was like, yeah, the only guidance I have is you join my business. I'm your guru. You're my chela. And I was like, fuck this. I don't want to listen to you. I'm out, dude. I'm just going to ask Akash's dad if he's free.
But man, things have changed considerably in the last 1 year. Now we're down to doing. Have you done any live shows yet?
Nah, I'm not. I'm a little too paranoid about it. I don't want to do it yet.
Okay.
I mean, I want to, but I'm scared of the Rona.
Yeah. I don't give a fuck. I'm lining up shows all through November, December. I think.
I know. I'm looking at your Instagram.
Yeah. If the government is okay with it, then I'm okay with it. You know, I'm just following the law. You know.
Fair.
And I'm trying to help this country.
Oh man, I got another call. Hold on, I'm just cutting this call. Yo.
Yeah. I'm just trying to create. You know.
Can you say something? I can't hear you.
You can't hear me yet? Still
oh
not?
man, I can't hear you. Okay, I got to change audio output. Test speaker microphone. Sorry about this, man.
You can just disconnect the iPhone.
Check.
I can hear you.
Check. What the fuck? Check.
I can hear you just fine.
Check.
Oh, better? I can hear you.
Check.
Can you not hear me? All fun things happening at the end of the podcast. उसके बाद नेविल का भी करना है. नेविल को बता
Check.
देता हूँ. I could hear you this whole time, man.
Check, check, check. 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 Check.
I can hear you. Why can you not hear me? If you can't hear me, then that has to do with your iPhone and your AirPods. You have to use different earphones.
Oh, have my AirPods died? My AirPods have died, I think.
Oh man, Raunaq. Man, that is the dumbest shit.
Yo!
Of
I
all
can
the
hear you
fuck
now.
all things
Yes.
that have happened tech-wise
Check.
on this podcast.
Check, 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 check.
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can finally hear you. Sorry, man.
It's okay. It's okay. Come. We have to
Haan.
finish and then I have to go into Neville's episode.
Cool, let's do it.
Okay.
Neville Shah?
हाँ, Neville Shah.
Nice.
What were we talking about? I lost my chain of thought. We were talking about parents वाला conversation हो गया, बाप वाला conversation हो गया. हाँ. So now with you're not doing any live shows is what we were discussing.
Live shows.
Yeah. So I was just saying कि तो like have you done the Zoom shows over the course of the quarantine?
Yeah, I'm doing a few Zoom shows. I've actually
Also you've restarted recording, no, with the mobile?
Yeah, I never stopped.
That is
it.
going on, no? Okay, yeah, okay. हाँ.
Zoom shows तो चालू है. अभी मैं सोलो चालू करने वाला हूँ. मतलब I was trying out shows here and there. I wanted to write new stuff. I was actually dude. I was ready to fucking. Okay, I'm gonna tell you this. What happened was, they were gonna crack a deal for me.
Okay.
For a special, because of which I never ended up fucking recording my bits.
Ah.
And right at the start of the fucking pandemic,
Right.
they were like, we can't do any specials because of budget cuts. And then I was
Which
like,
is so
I hate
weird,
this.
right? Because like, why would it matter budget cuts for Amazon Prime? You know what I mean?
Fuck it, dude. So I was like, fuck this, fuck that. I don't want to do anything. And then I just hated everything for like a good starting month.
Yeah.
I did corporate shows here and there, but I'm just gonna fucking like now they're like OML's like my management company's like, okay, let's try one more proposal. Now I'm like, fuck off. Now I want to fucking do the YouTube game. I want to be more accessible to people first, because I have some great bits that I was writing for a bigger thing, but now I'm gonna put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Just waiting for the Rona.
You know, I was on stage at the Habitat show and there were about 20 people in the audience, all wearing masks far apart from each other. And I had this thought in my head. I was like, you know what, man? Like, if I never get to play more than 20 people, I don't mind it. Because I'm just going to keep getting better at stand-up anyway. You know, like, if
do you think the Zoom shows made you better?
No, because what's happening is that you're only listening to laughs one person at a time. You know what I mean?
You know what I thought about the Zoom shows? I thought when I'm doing the Zoom shows, I feel like this is not like me being on stage. There's no grandiose to it.
It's a different.
So I have to break every fucking wall and communicate, which is actually making me better, because I'm becoming more like talky as a comic rather than narratively.
Yeah, but you know, I take it from a talkie comic. It's weird on stage when you go back from Zoom to stage. It makes it harder and harder because you've geared yourself to that. And also I feel like it's just a different art form. Like the things you can do in Zoom. Like one of my favorite jokes on Zoom is something that I would never ever in my life do on stage, which is whenever things are not going well, I just look at them and go, okay, nahi chal raha hai. It's fucking business time. I just do this. You know? And that usually does a pretty good job on Zoom shows, which is something you can't
Dude,
do.
come on. Of course you can't do that live. But that
Yeah.
doesn't mean it's not funny. Here's how I look at it.
My
I
point
look
is
at it
कि
as
it's funny as a Zoom thing. It's not stand-up.
yeah, that's okay. Like I feel like I can work out material well on Zoom. Like Zoom is great for trial shows,
Right.
but the show has to be live. I feel that.
Right.
I don't know. Like I feel like as long as you made me laugh, right? If I'm coming
Yeah.
to watch you,
Yeah.
if you're doing it on Zoom and it might not be the same as stand up, I still know you're a funny person, and I feel
Yeah.
like that's how I want my audience to. Like instead of going back home, log off thinking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know how, but one thing I've loved in the quarantine is that relationship is still happening, which is, I think, honestly, that's
Not
a
happening
show.
anymore.
अभी क्यों बंद कर दिया?
I wanted to do 10 episodes on Zoom, and then I
Okay.
stopped at that.
Honestly speaking, I felt like those. I watch the Zoom shows more than I watch the live stuff.
Right.
Something about the Zoom show I felt was nicer than when it was live.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It
No,
becomes
it's
more
not.
conversational.
It's not the same thing. It's not. It's just a different.
No. I'm not saying the show has become more conversational. I'm saying it's the same thing as what I told you earlier
Yeah.
about Zoom stand-up. It's
Right.
become more conversational. That's why it's more interesting to listen to.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. It's not as punchline heavy, but and there's genuinely like insights into the people that I was watching. I personally, having been on what can only be described as the best episode of Relationship till now.
My most fun second season was dude. I feel like we could have gone another hour that day. We were having so much fun.
Oh yeah. If
Oh,
I didn't have
dude,
to
that
pee
was
so much, I would have
so
suggested
fun.
it also.
Dude, it was so much fun that episode. Me, you, Sonali, and Shrija. You know what I wanted to do? I wanted to do me, you, Sonali, and what's her name? Shrija, just to be a dick. But then I
Yeah.
said, why should I just be a dick for no reason?
Shrija is such a treat, dude. I feel like Shrija online has brought an entire new dimension to her as a person, which I didn't know before, and I appreciate her even now. I'm a huge Shrija fan.
Dude, she's so funny, dude.
I used to take spots at open mics where she was performing because I was like, अगर मैं आ रहा हूँ देखने तो मैं देख के जाऊँगा उसको.
I feel like Shrija is also one of those comics that she got out a lot easier because of Comicstaan. Because you watch her for 10 episodes and you get context to the kind of crazy genius her comedy is. But if you just watch one YouTube video, you'll be like, what's her deal?
Yeah.
Right? You need those 10 episodes to be like, oh, I get it. She's doing this ironically. She's not really crazy.
Yeah. How is you got married? I'm sorry, I missed
also,
your
sorry.
wedding.
Also, Neetu Bhardwaj is one of those comics. Neetu has a stand-up video that she has put.
Which doesn't make as much sense without knowing her.
But Neetu and I'll tell you, like, you know Neetu, I'm intimidated of her because like she's so unpredictable as a person, right? But her stand-up bit is so funny, and I was like, this is the kind of thing that you need like a Comicstaan for, because you do this because I was shocked that it didn't work. But then I was like, oh, if you see this person doing 10 different forms of comedy for 10 weeks, you'll be like, okay, I get it. This is the kind of thing she's going for, and not what she is.
Yeah. I completely agree. That's the thing now. Context is everything, right? Like, I think today.
Sorry, I just want to say it for the viewer. It's Neetu Bharadwaj. Check out her stand-up video. I recommend it. I like it.
Yeah, we'll definitely add it to the Discord ka resource section. So on Discord, we have a resources section where all the things we talk about in the podcast, all the relevant links, they get sent up over there. Last thing I wanted to talk to you about, actually, before we bounce, was, I kind of envy you on this front because I feel like you've had a stable relationship that you've been in this whole time, and like, it's the perfect story, right? Like it's it's what my parents hoped would happen with me.
Right.
कि सेम नाथ की लड़की मिल गई कॉलेज में और फिर थोड़े साल डेट कर लिया और फिर शादी कर लिया अच्छे खासे जल्दी टाइम में and it must feel like a relief on some level, right? To get out of this oppressive environment and to just reset life with a new person in a new... And you all didn't live together before you all got married.
No, we didn't.
How was Like,
So,
because I remember
here's the
so
thing,
much
man.
friction around this relationship. Like, at least from your family's end, you were telling me, कि like इतना सारा ये हुआ था drama, and then I think it kind of got settled, and now you all are married. So I feel like this.
Yeah,
this
there
is
was a
the
bit of
movie,
there was a bit of
you know.
there was a bit of drama around the fact that like the drama being that like it's a love marriage. Raunaq is it's not even about that. It's not even about a love marriage. It's like it was a control thing. Like
Right.
when you have like parents like mine and now people who don't have context to me will get the impression that I fucking hate my parents or something. It's just that we have a very difficult relationship.
Yeah.
And they come from a different school of thought. Okay.
Yeah.
And like when they were in their 19-year-old age or whatever,
Yeah.
they had to come back home before 6 p.m. and my dad had to be in the family business. And he did it.
Yeah.
Right. I also had to come back home before 6 p.m. and be in the family business, but I was like, fuck off.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they can't fathom
Yeah.
that this happened.
Yeah.
Right. Because I'm not an asshole. Like, you don't get complaints about me in the mohalla that I'm beating up kids.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So they can't pinpoint what I'm doing wrong, but it's just a control thing that I have with my parents. Now, keeping that aside, if you look at it as an outsider, here's a Sindhi boy who found a Sindhi girl and they got married at 25.
Yeah.
And it feels like such a goody good boy thing. But if you know me, you know I don't stand for these things as conventional. Like,
Yeah.
like I didn't find a Sindhi girl because you're supposed to find a Sindhi girl.
Yeah.
I just fell in love with a girl in college who happened to be Sindhi.
Yeah.
But for my dad, it's like, oh, he found a girl because he knows I would not approve of anybody
Yeah.
outside of our
Yeah.
caste. And I was like, no, I don't believe in this stuff. I don't believe in this stuff. And her name is Henna, right? So for some time, I wanted to convince them that she's Muslim. I was like, I'm not telling you her surname. Okay. And then we got married at 25, which is like this wow. In this generation, your
Yeah, yeah.
son is set well settled.
Yeah.
But that's not what it was. It was like I'm passionately in love with this girl. I do my gigs, I go for work, and then at 11 o'clock in the night, after I'm done with everything, I make it a point to meet her because we were that attached, right? And you know this, like when like earlier on.
She's been to every
before
show. She's been to every
before
single
she got
show.
the dogs.
Yeah.
Before she got the dogs, she would come for every show and all because like I was at work all day. Okay, so and we would like want to meet each other and we're really comfortable around each other. Look, if somebody tells me we're unhealthily clingy, I'm comfortable with that. Like I don't care because
Yeah.
it's not unhealthy for us.
Yeah.
We really like as I said, I'm a recluse. Okay.
Yeah.
All I want is my wife and my dogs, and like you can leave me in front of a TV maybe, and I'm good.
Yeah.
Right. Let me go out and do some stand up. I'll come back, and that's all I want
Yeah.
from my life.
Yeah.
So I knew that. Like I remember having this conversation with Dudeja at like 22. I was like, man, I just got to figure out now what I got to do to be able to like make enough dough to be able to be sure that I can get married to Henna. And he was like, okay, who's pressurizing you? And I was like, no one is. No one is. I promise you, my parents don't even want this to happen. Because for my parents, it was like, it was a thing like, how couldn't I impress a decision of mine onto him?
Right.
Right. Like, how couldn't I put like I wanted to be able to make him a banker and find a girl from him for him. Like, cause like I was like, yo, if you stay in my house, which first of all we're not going to.
Yeah.
If you stay in my house, my parents are going to want you to be bahu, but we don't want that.
Exactly.
Like I don't want that of you. You don't want that of yourself.
Exactly.
And like, look, my parents come from a different mindset, right? We are like a young live-in relationship, but we also got married. Where like people look at me and they're like, oh, you're married. Like I was saying some I was doing some dumb shit. Aishwarya, okay, you know this. I do this to you also. Whenever any of my friends go live on Instagram, I write happy birthday on their chat. Then all their fans think it's their birthday, right?
Fucking annoying.
Right.
Yeah.
So Aishwarya Mohan was doing a live. I said happy birthday, and she was like, can you fucking believe it? Itna bada shadi-shuda insan. And I was like, I don't see myself as a bada shadi-shuda insan.
You still call her your girlfriend?
Yeah, sometimes I still call her my girlfriend. I brought that up with you. I brought that up in the episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still used to calling her my girlfriend in my head. But it's becoming wife now slowly.
What I find really fascinating about this is that you are married at an age where you are bound to very. You're still becoming the person you will be for the rest of your life. And
Yeah, but I've been this guy for a few years already.
no, in the
so I
sense
know
ki,
this
like, you
guy.
know, there are things that will be added now, right, to who you are as a person. These things will be added now. Okay.
Like a kid.
Maybe certain things will be
But
cemented.
that's something. But
you know?
yeah, but that's the thing I want. Like I want to have a kid in like not the near future, but I do see myself being a 40-year-old with a kid. Because like
Yeah.
I've had daddy issues, so I want to be like one of the big things for me is that I want to be a good parent.
Yeah.
I think I've told you this.
Yeah.
Like that's a big thing for me.
Yeah.
So this is the plan I'm going for. Like
Yeah.
like go to a gig, come back home to my wife, my dogs, and then maybe my kid also. I just need a lock for a house. That's all I need. That I have a key for.
Man, I hope you get all of these things. I really do. I want to see you succeed. I wanted to get a life like yours, and it did not work out as well for me. But I hope that it works out for you.
But I don't get it. Like, can I ask you this? What is the meaning of this? Like, because you sound like you would probably know what it means. Like, some people look at me and they're like, "Oh, goals. How do you guys do it?" And I was like, I didn't work for this. It kind of happened. Like, what is it that I'm not seeing when people say shit like, "Oh, goals"? Like, I don't get it. Like, I think like a goal is like I want to become an engineer and I aimed for it. I didn't aim for this. This happened in my life, and I was like, I want to preserve this, and I want to work to preserving this.
Yeah, and maybe that's what it is, right? Like maybe people like me who are looking for something to settle down with are stuck. Like I mean, I say I want to settle down, but
You're finding hoes.
No, I'm finding holes. I'm finding holes, I think is more accurate.
I just want to be an asshole.
Holes in people's personalities and in myself. And there's always, something or the other that leads to things not working out as opposed to them working out. But I feel like in that space now, finally, I have the maturity also to kind of deal with it. I think I also got jilted once. That big relationship ended up breaking up, and that was going very seriously.
You told me about it.
And I think after that,
we made fun of it insensitively.
Oh yeah, it's very needed. I was so I got dumped and then I went for a comedy festival, and I was just like, boom, like or like I got dumped. I did my special, got a standing ovation for the first time in my life. Came back to Bombay, flew to Canada for a couple of weeks. Came back straight for the Bangalore Comedy Festival.
Right.
And it was, and I was just destroyed at that moment. And it was the best time to be around comics because comics will always be like, oh, let me make this verse for you. And the thing is, you're feeling sad, but you appreciate jokes so much that you're like, yaar, maja to aa gaya yaar. Dil tod diya, par maja aa gaya.
No, there's nothing better than like a big thing happening in your life and you straight go on stage. Like,
yeah.
Like,
and you just went.
Like, the week after my wedding, like it's a big thing. It's a good, happy thing. I went straight a week after my wedding to Bangalore Comedy Fest. I was like, I'm getting out everything off my system.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way to do this into 5x feeling it.
Yeah. But hey, man, thank you so much for coming on this and having this chat. It's been absolutely wonderful. I feel like there are things I still want to talk to you about, but then I'm going to call you back in 2 years and talk about those then.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense to do that.
That'd be good, man.
Yeah, thank you so much again, dude, for doing this. It was so
Thanks for having me,
catharsis, dude. And especially since it was so
fun.
last minute, and especially since it was so messy for you to fit it into the day. But you did, and it means a lot
Don't
to
worry
me.
about it, man. I appreciate you calling me too.
Everybody here, you can follow Raunaq Rajani as @Raunaq or @Raunaq Rajani, hai na, Bibi? No.
At Sir Raunaq Rajani.
At Sir Raunaq Rajani. I'm so sorry, I forgot. Knighted before he was flighted.
Yeah.
Sir Raunaq Rajani
Yes.
is on Instagram and everywhere else. Do make sure you follow him. And that's about it. Thank you so much for everyone listening. Thank you so much for all the AMF patrons who have patroned and have given the monies to have this podcast go into its final phase. As we get into the last 10 episodes of this series, guys, it is important to note that second season is still a little unsure of what we're going to do unless we can figure out how to do it. So if you have friends, if you want to support this podcast, let us know. I just need to know if there are enough people out there who are willing to support this podcast for it to go on for second half. Until then, see you either on Discord or YouTube or anywhere else. You have been a blast. Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.